What's on Garden Route and Surrounds? We have a very exciting entertainment segment for you this week. But before that, let's quickly check in with our What's On diary for the weekend. Starting on Friday, the exciting mud race will be taking place on the stunning trails of the Garden Route. The action starts with the mud on Friday the 24th and runs through until May the 26th, Sunday, with an official prize giving. Then there's also the Friday market at Milkwood Village in Wilderness. Saturday promises quite a number of exciting events to get into. Walk a dog or cuddle a cat at the Garden Route SPCA, or visit the Hessequa Family Market that is open every Saturday. The ever popular George Park Run takes place every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Exclusive Books will be hosting the popular Kids Reading Corner at the Garden Route Mall that starts at 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. As always, there will be various artists live at Girls on the Square in Wilderness. At 2 p.m. on Saturday at the Town Lodge on Knysna Road, Play and Shake Workshop will be taking place for managing stress and emotions. It's open for all, but children must be above the age of 10. Don't miss Songs of Praise on Saturday at 3 p.m. at Glenwood House School, all featuring performances by Voce Excellencia Choir, Panorama Primary School Choir, Glenwood House Campus Choir, Riversdale Performing Arts Choir, Inez, Greta, and Eric Benardi, and of course, the Event Choir. On Sunday, there is again the popular Sunday Fun Day Market at Milkwood Village. And then in Mossel Bay on Sunday, the Morts Border Boys Parade takes place at 10 a.m. at the Mossel Bay Cenotaph. Now, for something very special and exciting that is happening in the Market Community Theatre. Third Space is a groundbreaking collaborative project celebrating 50 years of South Africa's National Arts Festival. Sponsored by the French Institute of South Africa and the Embassy of France, it brings together African choreographers and scenographers with South African community-based dance collectives. Third Space is brought to George by artistic director Halloween Armstrong. In studio, we had the opportunity to speak to Nabagala, Arafa, and Lynette about the project. Nabagala, thank you so much for being with us. Talk to us about this project and your involvement with the Market Community Theatre. What has that experience been like for you?
Well, this project is a residency for the National Arts Festival. It's called Third Space Residency, and 3 choreographers were commissioned. And I'm one of the choreographers that was commissioned. And I'm here to work with the Market Community and Kubu Collective to create a work during this residency that engages the dancers, their community, but also my choreographic approach, which is having elements of traditional dance and contemporary and street dance to tell a narrative or conceptual story through dance theatre.
Wow, and you also happen to be from Uganda.
Yes.
Now, how would you say your Ugandan heritage influences your work? And in this particular context, how did it influence your storytelling and your approach with some of the stuff you've been doing?
Well, during my research and my journey of dance, I realized that we tell a lot of stories through African traditional dances, and we tell a lot about our communities, but these stories are never told. And me coming from a background of street dance and contemporary, I felt that navigating these two spaces, being a youth that does not understand where my ancestors were at, and I could not tell the future, but I can create the now that I understand, that is me, and the modernized bit and my ancestral bit. Having these two navigate together, I could tell their stories and our stories now, and maybe the futuristic version in my own way through dance. Yes.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Arafa.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, from your perspective and this project, what has that journey been like? You know, you guys told me earlier you've been here now for some weeks. What's that been like? How's it going?
It's been very good so far. There was a bit of a challenge coming in. This would be my first time working from the start of a production until when it's being put on at the end of the month. So working very closely with the choreographer, learning the story as the dancers are learning the dance itself has been very inspiring. Every kind of move I make with like my set design, my scenography ideas, I've tried to align them with the story that's being told in the production itself. So it's a brand new experience, but very fun so far.
And you were saying that actually, like, as a scenographer, now, how do you incorporate it? You know, like I spoke about earlier now with Napagala, is how do you approach that also remembering and capturing your heritage as a Tanzanian. How have you been able to fuse that together with this?
Um, my approach has always been from I always try to start from the elements of a production. So taking it apart at the very basis. My background's in architecture. So when I say I work with elements, it's like a wall, a door, a floor, or ceiling. So looking at a production, I look at how the front of the stage, the back of the stage, above the stage. And that's been my approach with the work itself, looking at the story, the mood, the themes, the shapes that are being created by the dancers themselves. How can I mirror that in the production, the lighting, the costuming eventually? How do I make sure all the elements enhance the dancers themselves? To say with my Tanzanianness, it's always been the same. In Tanzania, the production level that I work with is it's very much local based. It's very much with the local artisans. So I work with carpenters. I work with people who work with soil, people who work with glass, people who work with metal. And so you take it back to the pure element and then you build it up and see how they all work together. So that's been my approach to this project. I hope it comes through.
I hope so too. And in closing, I want to know from you guys is, what do you hope that this does? So through this work and through this residency, what are you hoping to impact the people you're working with and the community, the people that would be watching that?
From my perspective, we're going to be having a workshop soon with some students, I believe some high school students, and hopefully some kind of older people who are interested in set design. I hope I inspire people or I show people how to kind of embrace the singular elements of a production and how to make sure they kind of come together. Making set design, at least like my set design, the set design people approach, making it seem like a simple thing to approach as opposed to this huge production that some people think the career is. So I hope it inspires people to journey into set design and scenography.
Amazing. And for you?
For me, two things. For the workshop that I'll be having at the high school, George High, I hope that the youth embrace their traditional cultural heritage, but also understand that they can't be them, they can't be their ancestors or their grandparents, but embracing it and adding it to who we are now. And for the dancers, I hope that this is not the end and it's a head start for them to not sit back and wait for opportunities, but also create opportunities within them for their community and not wait for work or to be commissioned somewhere, but to start something from the basis, because we've started from the foundation. I showed them how I break down these movements and make them have meaning from a traditional perspective to contemporary and navigate the story and emotions. So I believe that when we are done, this is like a head start for them to understand that they can also do it. I am here because I started like them, and it should be an inspiration.
Lynette, so you're involved with this project, and I want to know, starting off, what has that first of all been like for you, but more importantly, what does that project mean for you? So your experience with it, but also what it has done to you.
So firstly, I'm very blessed to be in this project. Also, I think it's the first big project that's in George, with like your professional choreographer coming in, professional dancers, and like working together as one. And also digging deep into our stories and our emotions, because I think it hasn't been a platform for us to be seen on a big stage and being seen as professional dancers in George, because we want to go out there to Cape Town and do it there, but not do it here. So this is the first time for me doing it for my own people. So I'm very blessed for that.
And this is the first time, obviously, you two are working together, right? So, naturally, there's pitfalls, there's ups and downs. I want to really know, what has your experience been like working with Lynette?
She's been I'm humbled and grateful that she's allowed to be poured in, and very resilient, because my process is really intense. It's also intense on me, the choreographer, but her being resilient and keep going and asking questions and and being truthful and vulnerable and accepting, not pretending to be anything, but accepting the phases, for me is that it makes it so easy to work with someone like that, because then you know what you need to work on and we have conversations together. So it's not like I'm up here and they're here. I come and meet them halfway and try to understand where they are, because I haven't worked with them before. And so I'm grateful to have a space like that, having worked with her and the other dancers.
And as a dancer, what have you learned from her as a choreographer in this process and experience?
I think with Nabagala, it's this thing. So you need to, it's almost like you're walking, but you're running, but you're not running, but you're walking.
But you know, it's somewhere there.
Yeah. So it's very exciting, and also she's allowing us to go and to come back very fast, because not a lot of people allow that in their processes. So also working with a female person, it's also very something new. She gives you a different type of sensitivity when it comes to, this is a safe space. Because if you work with male, they will give you the space, but there's limits.
Wow.
You know?
I get you.
So yeah, that is very sacred for us.
I'm so excited to see this thing. I'm like, I need to see this. But guys, thank you so much. You know, I can tell the energy is great. It's high. You know, you guys have been working together. And so I'm really excited to see what you guys have put together. I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure, of course, you're going to keep in contact and work forever. But so, yeah, we'll be there. See you. And now that's that for our What's On section. And remember to visit our websites. The link is in the description to upload your events and to also see what's happening in our region.